Oh, hey. I didn't see you there. I was just leaning on a plane in freeze frame here, MacGyver style. Sorry. Hello and welcome. We find ourselves back in the Shrine of Amana, amongst the lovely singing, which stops at random intervals, as my presence seems to offend. I'm trying not to take it personally. I do have 129,000. I've been moving through this area, clearing out, in particular, the poison, mushroomy guys here. Or not poison, but equipment degradation goo. Equipment degradation mist, whatever it is they're spewing. So there was a very large one here blocking this entire passage, and then he had a whole bunch of smaller friends. And they are now gone, for good, I do believe. I shouldn't have ground them out to such a fine powder without you, but here we are. So that is why I have 129,000 to spend. Let's jump back to Majula momentarily. Hello and welcome. And as I must assume is a local greeting of some sort, caustic vapors. Caustic vapors, everyone. Oh, no, that's because of what I was saying about the mushrooms. I get it now. I was late to that joke. Now I'm caught up. So nice to see you guys. I am well. I am hanging in there. As well as can be expected. Locked away in my ivory tower. With my many dish rags to eat. I'm doing all right. How are you all? Alive, I do hope. Thriving? Perhaps? I'm gonna hope for thriving. Okay, what do I actually need? Let's just even these out a bit. Maybe time to boost strength. The slightest bit more. Oh, that's very, very kind of you. I'm okay. I'm not actually eating dish rags, but I appreciate that. It's very, very generous of you. I am just being dramatic. There is some ramen at least. Not to worry. Okay, I think I'll just go ahead and risk the other 16,000 here. There's nothing else I necessarily need to buy. And I want to get back to it. My bloodlust is rising. Good morning, welcome. You'll send foreign cash by post. Probably unusable, but fancy. Oh, that sounds amazing. I'm sure I could find some sort of currency exchange counter, walk in, pull out a crisp foreign bill and go, look at how fancy this is. And they'd be like, oh, wow, oh, look at that. Oh, look at all the colors, that's fancy. And then they'd look at me and say, get out. I thought we told you the last time when you tried to change your Monopoly money. Never to show your face around here again. So I am running back just briefly to get another friend to help me. We have good Felicia the Brave here, who I perhaps should have waited to summon until the return journey, but here we are. Just didn't want to be alone. There's one more gentleman. Our lone hunter Schmidt here. That I'm going to try to drag with me into the next area. There's a nasty grouping of spellcasters and shrine guardsmen whatever they want to be called, out this way, and I need all the help I can get. Oh, they've engaged themselves in combat now. Not necessarily something I wanted. Stop picking on Felicia the Brave. What did I just tell you? Okay. I hope she has some Estus on hand. And this is gonna be a short Felicia. Oh no! All you saw was unusable but fancy and thought you were talking about me. Hey now. Encroaching in on my my self-deprecatory territory there. My self-deprecatory... My deprecatory... My... You know what I mean. Welcome. And yes, you are fancy. But I'm sure you're not unusable. That made it sound weird. I just mean, you have a specific set of skills, and... oh boy. I'm backing out slowly. Oh, there goes Schmidt. I'm so sorry, Schmidt. I wanted better for you in this. But here we stand. Oh, and Felicia. Okay. It's just me now. That's fair. At least they provided a brief distraction. That's all I really needed to get over to these pillars. Water is so deep here, you're going quite slow. It's a shame, to be sure. Slow and steady. Okay. Now we can do just a bit of item pickup. And then we can go back and get our friends again, before we continue any further. Mostly just wanted this area clear to get all the items, but hopefully we can kind of skirt around it after that point. This is my coward's plan. Hey, you jumped the wrong way. Not sure if you noticed, I'm back here. Huh, okay. I'll go around. Ooh, that looks like a nice one. Anything homing? Oh yes, it's like an ASMR video in here, but with the soothing sounds of the ethereal singing, the splish-splash of water, and the jingle-jangle of chainmail. It's quite lovely. It's just like my 6th birthday party. Just one moment before I go down this corridor of death. I'll be right back. So sorry. Just having a dramatic flashback to my 6th birthday party there. I'm back now. I'm back. It's fine. The year is 2020. And I have wasted my life. Oh, hardly. Not this morning, at least. Singing has stopped again. Don't know why. Maybe I just hit the end of the track. I think there's one more thing I keep spying out of the corner of my eye. While I was grinding, and I was like, no, don't go pick that up. You have to wait. You have to wait until you can film it. In case you die hilariously. There's this, item over there. I'm assuming there will be a way to skirt around and grab. Oh, I'm hoping. There we go. Alright. Now that we have all the items, let's try to get past all of those guys with, some friends in tow here. Don't you make me come over there and encourage you. You don't want to make me have to be very nice. That's one of my favorite bits. I did it again. I should have waited. I think, like, every time you summon those guys, a timer starts. I don't know exactly what it is. And it is kind of pointless to be running down poor Felicia's timer while I go get Lone Hunter Schmidt here. I'm so sorry. Mistake I continue to make. Oh, I am very glad to have improved your life in the slightest with my tomfoolery and shenanigans. Get out of here with your tomfoolery. Not to mention your Brendan foolery and your David foolery. I don't know. How did Tom get all the blame for that exactly? You know what you did, Tom. What with your foolery? I'm done. I promised. So I still haven't quite caught on to what's going on down here. I don't know if these archdrakes, like the spellcasters, are the actual guardians, like the king's final guard, or if something else happened, you know? The lore of Dark Souls often works in such a way that you come upon a place, and it's not exactly what is this place, and what do they do here. It's more, what did they do here before it changed, is often the case. So there's like multiple layers of the lore, because every area has something that happened in the distant past, and then other events that have happened since. And you're never sure exactly where in the thousands of years of undead cycle you've actually entered. Let's just try to take out some of the ranged guys, if at all possible. Yeah, that one'll do. That's fine. And then this one. If we can do it without, drawing the ire of the meleeman, all the better. Yeah. That'll do it. Leave the meleeman. Now they finally caught on. But are they leaving? Yes, yes, give up the chase. Do. Oh my. This singer lady does not appear to be in in such good spirits as the last one. In fact, I appear to have come upon her just at the last gasp there. I'm sorry, madam. Wait, so if she's not singing, who is singing? Who's clicking like a weird iguana and singing? Tell me too. Oh, you're singing. Okay. Well, let's toss a coin to the demon. For all these bardic songs, they've, Yikes, that is quite an effect. Quite a hoodie they've got there. I'm just gonna desperately hope there's no, bottomless pits in this water anywhere. Ah, so close. So close to doing something helpful. Go on, make your move. I'll be back here, hiding and watching from a distance. Can you turn the face this way, Felicia? I'm having trouble getting to the face. Oh, geez, that was a double. Okay. Sorry, Schmidt. Got in your firing line there. Darn. There goes my one distraction. Rolled right into it. That would have been an impressive sequence. So I shouldn't stay very far away, regrettably. As it kicks off her melee range. Or ranged range. Whatever I'm trying to say here. I was assuming a her based on the voice, but oh, it could be a trick all around. Ah, so close. Okay. Still got me. Just take it slow. Sorry, Felicia. Aha! Key to the embedded. I think I know where that goes. And strange that it's with the Demon of Song. Once again, that makes me kind of think that King Vendrick likely set up the Milfanito, the singing. They seem to be like daughters of the old Grave Lord Nito in some way. They're daughters of the dead rather than daughters of the dark. And I think he set them up to sing to soothe the kingdom and himself as he decided to let them fall into darkness. But then it seems like another group came along, like this sect of Archdrake worshippers. Came along and messed everything up and started locking away the Milfanito, and then the demon was released. But I'm completely guessing. I really have no clue. Well, there is a bit of land out here. And a tower. Aha, there's one of those moths I'm always looking for. For no discernible reason. See if I can survive. Cliff face over here. Down. Alright. What else do we have? Ooh, a bonfire. Behind a fragrant branch of your guy. Okay. After everything I've done for you. Okay, bonfire. It is kind of strange that that demon didn't have a tongue. Like being sort of frog-based, inhabiting some sort of loose frog sleeve, whatever that was, you'd think there would be tongue action involved. I feel a little betrayed by the lack of tongue. Listen carefully. That's interesting, because there is still singing, even though the demon of song is dead. I wonder if the Milfanito have picked it back up, or what that means. Maybe they're all one group just working together, and my paranoia has gotten the best of me. Okay. So drops out that way. Ah, we have a cyanite. Sayonara. That is true. You could consider the face and arms themselves to be tongues, in a certain way. It makes hugging a bit weird, but you can consider that. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, random message on the ground. Prove to me what you say is true. I don't have time. I'm not sure why I expected that to go up, because we already took like a huge elevator down from Drangleic. I thought there was going to be like another tower across the secret passage, but apparently we are deeper still below the old primordial lake. How deep did you want to hide yourself, King Vendrick? Jeez. It's getting out of hand. Hello and welcome. Pardon me. Pardon me my awkward silences. You're gonna have to find a new way to make an entrance, man. It's getting a little old on my shattered coccyx. I think he's even bigger this time. Scholar, what are you doing? Oh, his cute little nose. Just makes me want to reach out and go bloop. Alright, what do you have to say for yourself? Yes. You've burst out of the ground at me before.
What drives you so to overcome this supposed curse?
It's just got a great pension plan. That's all. Much like your nose.
One man lost his own body, but lingered on overhead.
Is that you? Is that who you're... Are you giving me a hint? Oh, disembodied head? Vengeance. Vengeance against the entire sordid universe for putting us all in this position. I will hunt down whoever is in charge. And now I'm just messing around, man. I'm just like following the linear path. Ah. Sort of a direct confirmation of my theory about Dark Souls. Oh, this guy's a genius. Yes, this is what I've been saying.
Do you still desire peace?
Well, what do you mean by that? Do you mean, do I desire peace in the sense that I desire peace to the extent that I'm willing to inhabit a false human body just to continue the reign of some sordid gods who installed themselves after finding some old souls deep underground? No, I don't want that kind of peace. If what you're saying is that I, in all of my wisdom and power, can take over the cycle and change it into something brand new and sweet, then yes, I do desire peace. Is that what you're saying? Please clarify. He's not saying anything. I guess okay. He can't hear me. You do not even have the dialogue options to explain yourself. Despite the fact that you made a very passionate case out loud that I didn't even hear because I'm rude. That is fantastic, though. For all of my jabs at him, he is a very important character that has confirmed my suspicions about the original Dark Souls. That humanity, the form we have taken here, is a purely physical construct and a lie. We should actually be a form of dark spirit, a single dark spirit that inhabits everything in the universe that is not fire. Everything that is not chaos belongs to us as the dark spirit of humanity, and we have given it up for these feeble, frail flesh bodies. As part of an accident. Thank you, giant disembodied head. My philosophy is sound. And also very strange. Goodness. Alright. Hey, Skelly boy. Can I take that off your hands? Oh, thank you. I see stuff in there. And yet... I don't know how you would get in. Oh, is it just... Am I thinking of it wrong? I thought that was a chamber underneath the stairs. It's likely just this chamber on the other side. Yes, that is all. I do believe before it was the Scholar of the First Sin, like back on 360, that's where this bonfire was, but they must have just moved it out into the foyer to increase the ambiance, I suppose. They're trying to get that Happy Home Academy A rating, and I wish them luck. Hello, Cyan Knights. Do you want to do this one at a time, or no? Just one at a time? Do we have an agreement? A gentleman's agreement? Thank you. Thank you for gentlemanly agreeing to this. Okay. That guy has 2 giant shields. Like that lovely summon we had that one time. 2 shields with pictures of folks. Huh. And are you friendly? I mean, I'm friendly. For my part, I can say I'm friendly. Oh, good. Another one of our torch bros in play. Gotta love torch bros. However, I imagine he will not be so forgiving. So I'm just gonna skirt on past. Though this isn't looking good. Okay. I think I will try to take him out in this room instead. Awful lot of spellcraft going on. Could you hold it down? Torch Bro, you're making this a little difficult for me. Oh, Daddy loves you. I'm sorry for what happened. So that is quite the powerful artillery. How would I get up onto that ledge with a sort of quickness that may allow me to survive? A couple of pillars. Grateful for these pillars. So it does look like there's stairs to the right. And I'm just gonna have to go for it. Oh, yikes. That is a very powerful form of magic. And a summon sign that I probably could have used that whole time. Just behind the pillar. Ah, dear Scarlet, please join us. That's a lot of blood. Okay.
Do not produce light. Light.
Oh, okay, Jermaine Clement.
Unwelcome in this place.
Fair enough. Does that mean I can just walk on by and you guys are cool? What's going on up here exactly? Anything cool going on with you guys?
I am Ugdane, guardian of the crypt. Countless dead rest here in peace, cradled by the comfort of dark. Light only agitates. We have no need for it here.
Well, I'd like to apologize for my gorgeous eyes.
I am a finito. We weave death and watch over the dead. This task was granted to me by the one who gave us the first death. Countless souls rest here. Some of them from ages long ago. Some were rich, others poor. Some wise, some dull, but now they're all just dead. Did you come for him?
Interesting.
The one called Fendrick?
Well, yeah, technically, but I don't want you to feel as though you're only a second fiddle here. I mean, I'm happy to meet you too.
Castle servants and the like have come to fetch their lord. But they rest here now.
Maybe this whole journey was just about bringing me here, before you.
Perhaps he's not in the mood for company. In the past, humans were one with the dark. The former king of light, he feared humans. Feared that they would usher in an age of dark. How queer you humans. How you go on, never separating truth from fiction. This place is welcome to all.
It is rather strange, isn't it?
Reverence is shown.
We humans.
Death is equitable, accepting. We will all one day be welcomed by her embrace. Tell me what you desire. Show me reverence, and I will lend you my hand.
What do you mean by reverence? Once again, I'm gonna need to see the terms. Ooh. That sounds fancy and painful. Ooh, human effigies. Good to know there are some more out here. And yeah, I'll take a pyromancy I don't possess.
I am a finito, dist, countless, somewhere. Farewell.
Okay. So we have a new NPC merchant. Can I take this? Are you guys gonna eat this? Were you just about to eat this, or can I? Yay. Ah, you figured I would know who the Flight of the Conchords are. I have no idea what you're talking about. But check out this random song that just popped into my head. Bow, bow, no, 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 no. Bow, bow, no, 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 no. Bow, no, no, no. I'm done. We have a fog gate. And perhaps a shortcut if we can make it to the other side. Interesting. A lot of gravestones. Wow, just a lot of gravestones. Oh, hey, buddy. Are you alone in here? Is it just us? Ah, skeletons. We are not alone in here. How did you get through there, Scarlet? Have you been macing the gravestones? Oh, that doesn't... Oh no. We've woken up some sort of ghostly sorcerer. And I'm scared. Just gotta make it to the ghostly sorcerer. Ah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I rang the bell. Yikes. Okay. Everybody just take a breath. Calm down. Oh, it's hard to break these without also hitting a bell. Oh, come on. Darn. Okay. Now it's just getting a little old in my ears, but that's fine. Ah, we have wall ghosts. Tim Burton's very own wall ghosts. TM. Tim Burton's wall ghosts, not a sponsor. There we go. Stop hitting the bells. It's enough to drive someone mad in some gothic literature in here. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, saved by the bell. Hardly. Scarlet, you're preventing me from using the bonfire. Well, I do appreciate your presence here. I just heard from the Bureau of Wearing Out, and it appears as though there may be an issue with your welcome. Sorcerer, run! Run all the way back! All the way back to the Shrine of Amana. Oh. Okay, Scarlet, I'm gonna have to take a little detour here, which I regret to inform you cannot follow me on. Thank you for your time. I do appreciate you. All right. The Undead Ditch. Interesting name. We will return. Let's just see if we can limit our demons of song souls slightly. I did finally figure out, too, we tried to talk to Pate, mild-mannered Pate, and continue his quest line during the last session, and I thought that I had done something wrong. I realized after the fact what I had done wrong was that he pointed out that treasure chest, and so I had talked to him and exhausted his dialogue, and then I went and opened the treasure chest and did not talk to him again afterwards. Was my problem. Since he pointed out the treasure chest, he has no dialogue after you open it, and I did go back and get that new dialogue, and he should now be in the correct position, is my thought. So we could go back there as well. I have not checked yet. But that would be a good thing to knock out before we get too much further along. actually a little tempted to run right back here. Let's try the entrance, though that might be silly. It may be easier to go from the ditch backwards, but let's try this. Just want to see that Grave Warden one more time. Since he has human effigies on his person, and me with such a sweet tooth. Yeah, there are kind of a lot of guys between me and the Grave Warden from this bonfire. I think I will try the other side. Carve a path out of there. There's a thing down there. Interesting. I'm assuming because there are torches here, at least a few of them, that by this point the torch rule is no longer in play. The torch rule only applies to this room, perhaps? That is what I'm going to operate under the assumption of. So I can't forget and run back in here with the torch and aggravate them. Lovely. I will take it. And farewell to whatever you are. Human? No? No? Okay. Judging by the skin color, I'm going to guess some sort of distant ancestor of Tobias Fumke. So I wonder if the bells really matter after the statues have been broken. That seems to be what's producing the sorcerers, if I'm seeing it right. Or they are the gravestones of the sorcerers. Okay, so just jumping back there briefly to spend some of the rest of those souls, let's head to the chapel here real quick and see if we can figure this out. There's a bit of a weird thing going on. To briefly catch you up with mild-mannered Pate and Creighton the Wanderer. We've heard all sorts of rumors from all sorts of people as we've gone through this world. And here's what I think we know from my poor sorry brain, who's badly paraphrasing. We met Pate outside of a gated area of the early castle, and he told us that there was treasure inside, and that he wasn't brave enough to go get it. There were enemies guarding it, and so he was waiting for someone else to go take care of the enemies, and no one has come back. And then as soon as you go in there, I actually, during this stream, I went the other way, the long way around. But typically if you just walk in after he says that, he closes the gate behind you, and he's like, oh no, I didn't mean to. But it seems to be very obvious that what he's trying to do is trap you in there, much like Patches, Pate, who would have thought, and steal your stuff once you're dead. He wants you to be locked in there with the guys, have them kill you, then he can open the gate and grab your things. And he tries that again later in Earthen Peak. He says, oh, there's a chest in there, go on and get it. And it's an ambush with those headless mannequins. And then he's like, oh, you survived, wow, that's crazy. In addition to that, he was also summonable for the last giant boss fight, and because he helped me in that and he survived, when we met him in Earthen Peak, he gave me his full armor set. Just important to keep in mind. We already have all of Pate's items. So on the other side of Pate, who seems to be a morally questionable person, who, similar to Patches, is trapping and stealing, it's also obvious from his armor set that it's stolen. He's not who he's pretending to be. He could be anyone. He's wearing the armor of someone named Pate. Seems to be the idea. Then later on, after you find that guy in the Undead Cops, there's a little jail cell. Sorry for this a bad view while I'm badly explaining. There's a little jail cell, and you release a guy called Creighton, the Wanderer, from prison. And he seems a little sinister, but he's never done anything to you. He's never trapped you behind a thing and stolen your items. But then after you release him, there's another character, I forget who exactly, we talked to. I think it was Kale, the cartographer, who's now in the mansion in Majula. Kale said that there's a serial killer from Mira, the land of Mira, whose name was Cray something. He couldn't remember, but he kept saying Cray something. And so I have to assume Creighton is likely a serial killer from Mira. But who is Creighton? Because Pate, whoever Pate is, locks people in cells, and that's where we found Creighton. And Creighton's only goal in life is to kill Pate. He's never really done anything bad to you. He just wants your help to find Pate and murder him. So it's very, very unclear who's the good guy. They both appear to be solid bad guys, if anything. And it's just that this sort of thief crossed paths with an actual serial killer and locked him in a cell, and now there's bad blood. So really, there's no one to save, necessarily, in this situation. And the only thing to remember is that I already got Pate's armor set, and that's sort of the reward for siding with someone in this whole quest line, is you get all of their items. So what I may do here... Well, that was ear-shattering. The purpose of all of that unnecessary exposition is to say that I may side with Creighton if I can swing it. In the hopes that he might give me his armor set. Because I already have Pates, and they're both bad guys. Just hoping not to hit him too much to aggravate him. Ah, darn, that was a real solid hit. I'm sorry. Are we good? Alright, I got his spear. And the other thing I'm going to try real quick here is I'm going to wear that ring he just dropped. Because I think it helps Creighton to recognize you.
Serves you right.
So he has gotten his vengeance against poor Peter Serafinowicz. I'm sorry if you're listening, Peter Serafinowicz.
I did it. Thanks for your help. He was no pushover.
He sure wasn't.
Yeah,
That was Peter Serafinowicz.
it goes to my bumhole down the way. What's there? It's yours. Just a small token of appreciation.
Hello and welcome. So sorry, I'm late to the welcomings. But good to see you there.
These are...
Ta-da! Creighton set. So now we have both.
very well.
As though we've been playing both sides and working as a double agent against them.
You did me well. You did me well.
I'm very glad I, quote, did you well, Creighton. You're welcome. So, the idea of this now is that even if you side with someone, at this point you could still be kind of confused and thinking that there's a right thing to do. And what I think might happen at this point is he gave me his key and he said, "Go on down the way. There's a little surprise for you." I think he is now kind of pulling a pate. I think this may be some form of trap, but maybe I'm just over-paranoid and misremembering. Let's see if we can find where to use this key down here, though. And we'll get the full story. Oh, that was risky. But fun. And if there's one thing you know that I love, it's risky but fun. What do you mean I should explain that more? I think I've made myself perfectly clear. How many T's? That is the question. No, we heard what you said, but how many T's? So I think it must be on this side of things. That was close. Almost got myself locked in a corridor. There we go. So this is the locked door he wanted me to go to. His bolt hole down the way, whatever that means. And an exploding chest. And he was apparently watching me from somewhere? Ready to make that comment? What a weirdo. So yes, I think that is about as much reward as you can get from that quest line in a single playthrough. It may be possible to get other items if you do things in a different order later, but we got both of their full armor sets, a reward item from down here. We avoided his secondary trap, that rat bastard, and we're on with our lives. Thank you for joining me on that brief aside. I always think there's a way out here. I guess I always say this as well, and there turns out to be. What I'm remembering is that you can jump into this thing if you hit it, right? But that's not technically a way out. So I'm always confusing myself backwards and forwards. Okay, I'm going to briefly jump back up to the chapel while we're in Brightstone Cove. Just getting back on top of the cliff here. I think there's one more thing we should take a look at before we move along. I have been avoiding this chest like the plague, because I have to imagine it equals an instant spider ambush. But I do believe we may not be back to Brightstone now that we've finished that quest line, and so let's go for it. That's horrifying. was some sort of sacred... Oh, goodness. I hope since I already opened it, that won't be rubbish. That was a pretty stupid idea, though. I should have grabbed the item first. Let's see if that took pity on me. Oh, good. And it's heavy bolts. You're kidding. You're kidding, right? Wow, okay. So yeah, that's just a spider ambush and basically nothing. No reward. Good to know. And then every time you want to come through here, it would be a little difficult. Wow, that's a really obvious one I should have seen. Well, here we are. Hello? A priestess's set. That'll be good for the summer months when it gets balmy. A little draft going between my thighs. Perhaps I've said too much. I'm so sorry for my lateness. I'm just now catching the comment, or the 1-2 combo of comments. Risky but fun versus risky but fun. Vote now on your devices. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for being here. Okay, so what else am I possibly forgetting? I did go back and take a look at the Iron Keep again. I think the only item we may be missing in our quest for fire defense is that occasionally in the Iron Keep there are these elaborate jars, these extravagant-looking fancy jars that have some sort of flame-resistant liquid inside of them. And like the oil or poison jars, you can roll through them and get a little extra fire defense. That's really the only thing I didn't try last time, in addition to the Smelter Demon's armor and Flash Sweat pyromancy. So we could go back and try rolling through a vase and then onward, but I think it's just a matter of me needing more health at this point. I just don't have the health to be able to run out there and grab it. So I'm gonna wait on the flame items a bit more as we continue to grind through the game. I do believe we are done with Brightstone, though. With a conclusion of Pate and Creighton and a secret passage. I think we can call that good. So let's jump back to the shrine. Or not the shrine, the crypt beyond. And see if we can press on just a bit further here today. It's so lovely to have already been with you for over an hour and not need to worry about running off to my desk. Gotta love it. I will, however, take a brief break before I aggravate anyone in here for a sip. Pardon me. All right. Just say no to Skelly Boys. It's a new social awareness campaign I'm trying to get started. Yikes. Nameless usurper? As always, nameless usurper, this isn't the time. Oh, that was very, very close to killing me. As was that. There we go. Ahem. Taste the steel. Do taste it. Avalyn. What a lovely name for a weapon. And have you met my weapon, Avalyn? Avalyn, honey, come in here. We have guests. Okay. I think I am missing... missing something back here. There we go. I think this will help significantly. Guess it comes right up to this sorceress. I may actually check that weapon description to see if I can figure out who these people are here. A staff. Oh, I have to go back up to the castle to... I have to go to the top of Drangleic. Maybe it's in here. That's why I'm not seeing it. There we go. Okay, Lyda, which is Lydia? Lydia. Something like that. So yeah, that's what's so weird about them. They're using three things. They're using sorceries, miracles, and hexes all at the same time. It's super interesting. They were deemed blasphemous and slaughtered. Okay, that's a shame. Leave the witches alone. That is typically how the lore works in Dark Souls. It's like, oh, I wonder who that enemy is. And then you kill a bunch of them, and they drop their weapon, and you look at it. And then you know. Exploration by killing. Pretty sweet deal. Alright. I guess you can have a piece. You can have a piece of this. That's fine. So it looks like a whole lot of swordsmen are gonna swipe at me. If only I'd watched Dora the Explorer more, I'd know what to do in this situation. And now we have two shieldsmen. Sturdy. Ouch. My back and things. My front and things. I wasn't expecting you to be able to fit in here, but okay. Let's take this on the road. To stop by Bed Bath and Back and Things after this to get some replacements. Don't tell me there's another elevator down. I couldn't handle another elevator down. Well, at least it's not an elevator. Hooray for Skeleton. Well, this displeases me. In the grand scheme of whether or not I'm pleased, I'm at about a 2 now. Now, don't you ring bells? Nobody told you you had permission to do this. Oh, that looks bad. Ah. That looks like a bad place to run away from guys into. There's the other one. Aha! Wow. Okay. That was neat. Pretty sad about the double shield guys coming back into play, but that was neat. And now I've lost my dear humanity. However, I do believe, unlike the guys, the statues I'm breaking will not come back. This is my hope, at least. However, Sorceress likely back. That's gonna make it a little tricky. I should start going this way by default. These people have an awful lot of health, too, considering the strength of this weapon. 3 hits is no joke. Okay, sure. Should have expected. Why am I one-handing this? That's not helping. So close. Don't know why I keep assuming he won't go for a second one there, when clearly he does. If I have to start at the bonfire again with those shield guys, I have an idea. Foreshadowing. So something came out of that I did not appreciate. I didn't know those guys could do such spells, or there's something behind him. Jeez. Oh, come on. Well, I guess you'll get to see my idea now. That was a shame. It is good to remind yourself every once in a while just how fragile you are, though. You beat a bunch of bosses, you get through some areas, you start to think, yeah, I'm getting good at this game. And you just need the reminder every once in a while that that's not really what it's about. It's not about getting good, despite the meme. It's about learning to live with failure every day. So, as I switched it there without cluing you in on any of my thought process whatsoever, which is probably just fine, I switched to Fire Tempest, which may have the ability to get behind their shields. I am thinking. If I can just get them to not attack me for a second here. I suppose I should take out the walls first. I always forget. There we go. Ooh. Just grazed him. Let's try this. They're still just not very concerned with fire, it seems. That's fair enough. Pardon my sweeping cinematic camera movements there. And back down we go. I'm gonna try to just get to this. I was expecting there to be a gravestone in there. Maybe it's a different one. Yes, here he is. Bad. There. That ought to help. Oh, fine. I'll leave you alone. If you're just gonna keep popping out of the ground. Alright, so I may be on the other side of this. Yes, here is the lever. So we now have a very, very good shortcut opened. For which I am grateful. Ah, sweet shortcut. So the bonfire should be just in there. And we can now go this way. I am incredibly glad. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything back here. Just a bell. It is weird that this whole room has a little baseboard, and then there is nothing here. But I'm not sure what I would need to break it down. Okay, so I think we're clear. Let's take a peek down this way. Oh, that looks like a boss for sure. Like a boss, and what else? Hey guys. Oh, sorry. I thought you were gonna... Oh, I'm very sorry. I'm not sorry at all anymore. Just trying to give away my position. Okay, so prevent that from happening at all costs, is what I've learned here. Good to know. So there is a guy already down there, and a backup guy behind the pillar, who will try to sound the alarm. Give me just one moment, I'll be right back. Alright, so sorry. Got myself some extra water, which I'm sure I don't need, judging by the sound of my voice. I should be fine. I should be fine without any water. Him. I think I'm going to pop one of these and look for summon signs around this area. It may help me clear out this rather nasty foyer. Trying not to hit the bell myself. And is it just those two? There are 3. Good to know. I'll have to figure out where that guy is coming from. Just resetting the sorcerers, my apologies. My problem. It's times like these where it's like, don't swing too wide and hit a bell, where I wish I had a backup weapon for such circumstance. So where is the other one? He's just rising out of there? Well, that's a shame. I don't know what the right thing to do is, necessarily. Devastating. And effective. There's a summon. We have another Dragon Rider. Great. My favorite. Oh, it's the Grave Warden. Very generous of him to help me out. So hoping. Yikes. That could have easily been the end. So close to being the end, I think we've opened a new Splinter reality, where I am indeed dead. So close. I was hoping to leave him alive. But that is, sort of symmetrical. I appreciate it. And now I can just get a quick peek. All I really wanted was a peek. Ah. It appears as though we have a redemption of the Num-Nums in the chat. And now we will have to go German for several seconds in order to counteract the cosmic properties of the Num-Nums. You see, it's all very simple when you just sit down and explain it carefully in the German accent. See, the Num-Nums, they possess a certain kind of radiation that we call Num-Num radiation that comes from space, of all places. I know, what could possibly come from space, right? But here it is, it's just beaming in from space, radiative. enjoy my random possessions by a strange old German scientist. Some of my favorite times. So yeah, that room is kind of a nightmare. Though I have to imagine there's a way to just not have the bell ring and would take all the ranged problems out of play. But this does seem like one of those areas I may have to grind out in order to face the boss. I'm tempted, though, if I could just run past everyone, summon the Grave Warden, and then get through the fog wall, we could take a peek at what awaits us. I just don't want to take an easy hit and be out of it, lose my humanity, etc., etc. With ranged wizards in play, an easy hit is always just around the corner. What do we have in here? Pardon the interruption. Looks as though you were musing. So he's literally using a bell from one of the bell towers as a weapon. Ouch. It's got a certain ring to it. There you go. That's funny, even when he, like, hits a wall, the bell is kind of planking around. Okay, what are you doing? Neither of them. Yikes. Come on, Grave Warden. I need you to hang in there, man. Okay, it's just him and me. What I wouldn't give for one more summon guy. Nice moves. Yikes. Nope. Jeez. I keep using the wrong thing. And the wrong moves. Goodness me. Well, there we have it. It was very close. Definitely doable. If only I had done it. but definitely doable. Really makes me wonder if there's another summon hiding in a side room somewhere. But if I was just a bit more aggressive in the first phase while the Grave Warden is still alive, I think we'd probably be fine. Let me give that one more solid attempt here. If I can get over there again. It went relatively well the first time, but that's no guarantee. Looks weirder typed out than you imagined it. Well, that's fine. I'm always worried when I'm, Oh, yikes. I shouldn't have gotten distracted. I'm sorry. That was silly. It does look like the Dragon Rider is not back. That is a huge improvement. Oh, I'm not interested. Thank you. Not interested in your spellcraft. Or your sword, for that matter. As I was saying, I'm always worried when I'm like, so close. Out loud myself. I can't even imagine having to type it. I won't. You can't make me imagine it. Just change your attention. There you go. You figured it out. Be aggressive, but not too aggressive. Come on now. Darn. Out of there. Moving on out to the country. Donk. The Donk of Victory. Thank you, Grave Warden. I'm sorry for your sacrifice. Here's the king. We made it, guys. You ever imagine what a king looks like when he agrees to let the whole kingdom fall into darkness for eternity? That's something like this. He appears to have shed his armor long ago. And we now have the symbol of the king, the king's ring. which means we can get into all of those large, ornate doors. Hello. Hello, Emerald Herald. So she has been telling you all this time, seek the king, seek the king. You'll find your answers there. Now what does she have to say for herself?
Ring is the symbol of the king. Use it to gain passage through the king's gate and venture to the far east. Bearer of the curse, if you are to be the next monarch, then one day you will walk those grounds without really
Just like that.
knowing
That's exactly what the old firekeeper said to us. Give me one moment, I'll be right back. Alright, so sorry. Ahem, and so sorry I did not put the microphone in the correct position. I am back. Okay, take the king's ring, go to the far east. Fair enough. I'll see you later, Vendrick. Hang in there, buddy. So this one is rather strange in that it does not seem to have a bonfire attached. You have to make your way back out the old-fashioned way. Alright, let's make a run past these sorcerers. Alright. So there are a couple of doors I can think of. The one that most readily springs to mind is probably the first in sequence, which I think is just down the ladder from this bonfire here. Let's go check it out. See what the item we worked so hard for actually does. Hello and welcome. I think I missed someone joining the chat there. Hello and hello. And welcome and welcome. So we're going to slip down this ladder. And around the bridge. To one of these doors. Oh, you look awful forlorn. Oh, man. Slippery. Yikes. slippery and stun-locky. Let's just run back out here. Mm-hmm. Yikes. Thanks, wall. So slippery. Okay. Once again, didn't want me to get too full of myself. I see. Ah, yes, some Witcher later. That would be fantastic. I might try to start another Witcher session tomorrow morning, if that works out. I should likely move along fairly soon for the day, I regret to inform you. But yes, I will put that on the schedule. And I'm sorry, it has been a while. I've been swordsmaning in Drangleic. But thank you for the reminder. Okay, so will he still invade me if I am not human? Let's get this over with. No. I'm guessing that's a no. Let's see if I can gamble a human effigy. Typically you get one back by taking out one of those invaders. But maybe it was happening for another reason entirely. I thought it was to scold me as I came here for the king's door, but I don't know. Oh well. Yes, just a little leather pants as a treat. You've earned it. You certainly have. Okay, wearing the king's ring. And here is that fourth hidden bonfire of the forest. Finally mine. The Place Unbeknownst. That's an interesting name. Alright. So this looks like a much more active giant. And the door is closing. Interesting. Alright, we can finally get over here to grab these few items. But I guess we'll have to jump down in order to do so. Fair enough. Oh, definitely worth it, though. Another fragrant branch. That looks like an item over there that I don't believe I've seen before. In my previous playthrough, I must have missed it. Let's see if I can skirt my way down. Fantastic. All right. Got our dear old turtle friends. From way back when we got the fire longsword out of there in like episode 2 or 3. Such a long time ago. The world was different then. A whole lot less jello than there is now. When the Great Jello Storm first began, why, we all thought it was crazy. But now it's just a part of everyday life. Nothing to be done about the Jello Storm. Okay. So we will need another item. I do believe that glowing giant corpse, for lack of a better word, is interactable with, but we will need a special item from the east first. And I suppose this will be a good spot to end it for now. Coming up on 2 hours here. I very, very much appreciate your time and bearing with me. Let's just see if there's anything else to purchase here. We have taken out a couple more bosses, which makes me wonder if any of their armor has made its way back to Majula. Take a peek. Velstadt. I would like to know more about Velstadt. Yes, please. Seemed to be the one guy still protecting Vendrick who hadn't fully hollowed, perhaps? He still looked kind of normal. A knight from a faraway land. He was lured here and forgot why he came, and has been reduced to a shadow of his former self. He was originally a miracle wielder, but is now imbued with dark. Sounds appropriate for Vendrick. Interesting. Spend a little more at the Herald. And we'll just hold on to the rest. Okay, worth a check. So the only other door I can remember, I know there must be more of them, but the only other king's door I can recall off the top of my head is here at the fork in the road. I may try to press on just to get one more bonfire in the next area before quitting out, just so that we don't have to start in Majula for the 80th time. Not that there's anything wrong with dear Majula. I think it's this way. That was close. Goodbye, ogre. I love you. Gotta get my umbrella at the ready. So we come to Aldia's Keep. The way that there seems to be kind of a cycle or pre-prescribed roles for the major figures of the universe in the Souls world. Aldia seems to be like the Duke, Seath, the Scaleless from the first game. A scholar who performs experiments and begins to lose their ability to value human life. Are we good? Do we have beef, you and I? Do you and I collectively have beef, or are we good? A lot of blood around here. Well, that looks like a mimic to me. Looks like the reaction you would have to a mimic. Sorry, doggies. Or whatever you are. Okay, dear Lucatiel is back. Looking a little worse for wear. I hope she's okay. Let's try this. Get another peek at... Oh man, that just looks like a lot of chomping. So let's try one of these old tricks. I must have a Lloyd's talisman. Yes, there we go. I don't want to necessarily use it. I want to put it in my belt. Yes. Okay. Let's see if this still works. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. So much blood, I can't pick up the item. A malformed skull and a dark mask. Sounds neat. Why are you still glowing? Is the question. I'm not gonna worry about it. Alright, so we got some items. We are at Aldia's Keep. Sort of similar to the Duke's archives, in a way. And I will be back here next time. Though this curiosity has gotten the better of me. Hurrah! Okay. I will rest at this bonfire. And tomorrow morning, if I don't see you before then, who knows what may happen this afternoon, but if I don't see you before tomorrow morning, I will intend to jump into the Witcher. I know that we had just left him in Oxenfurt. We finally got in. And we were going to check out the barber and maybe get him some new clothes and things. So it'll be a very fun session in town tomorrow with Geralt. And thank you for your patience. I will be back here as well at the next opportunity to speak to Lucatiel. Ah, the fun we'll have. Thank you very, very much for your patience and bearing with me here. And I will see you next time. Stay safe. Bye-bye.